What's up, everybody? I'm Hefe Picks, and welcome to Cappers Only, powered by DubClub on the ATS spot. We couldn't be happier for you to join us today. This is the first ever, the inaugural episode, so I'm going to take 1 second and just tell you what we're going to do here once a week, why you should be here, and why we are so blessed to have a company like DubClub power this show. This is Cappers Only. We're going to get on here every week and debut cappers that you know, that you follow, that you love, and unveil them to the world. We're going to talk to them. We're going to ask them how they got to where they are, why they got to where they are. And the most important for all of you guys is give you guys free picks, best bets, and have a lot of fun in the meantime. This is going to be a show that for any capper that's looking to become an established brand and get on the fast track for growth, this is where you want to be. And for anybody that wants to be and follow all these cappers, this is what you want to watch. So welcome to Cappers Only. And we are powered by DubClub, which is the hub for simplified sports handicapping. They make it easy for cappers to grow and manage subscription and manage business together. Whether you want your clients to get their plays texted, emailed, or even on Telegram, DubClub is a place to make it happen. So make sure you check them out on Twitter. If you're a handicapper out there and you're sending 100 emails every day to your clients, you don't want to do that. This is the best way to streamline your VIP service. So make sure you check out DubClub, and thank you to them for powering this show. Without further ado, on episode 1, today, we have none other than the Degenerates with us. So without further ado, let's bring them on, man in the back. Guys, hello. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is your first time ever showing the world the people behind the account, right?
It is.
Wow, guys. Well, thank you so much. And let's get it started here, guys. You guys are in no way, shape, or form a small account. You guys have been around. You guys are out there every day. 27,800 followers. First of all, hats off to you. And thank you for being here. Let's start this off real simple, guys. The Degenerates. Who thought of the name? What's with the name? I like it. It's catchy. But is there a story behind it?
Yeah, so first off, we want to thank you for inviting us on and taking the time on your show. We're excited to be here. And yeah, the background behind this is the three of us kind of met in college. Our third guy's not here right now. He couldn't be with us right now, but he was actually our RA. In college, which is funny. So he was our RA, and he kind of introduced me to gambling, at least, just because like we had loved sports, and it was whenever we weren't in school, we were watching sports, and he was gambling, and I had just kind of like gotten into it because of him, and then the three of us had kind of just kept in contact over the years in school. And we had kind of seen these handicapping accounts, and me and Novelli had paid for a couple of them just to see what they were about. And we were just like, we could do this better than these accounts. And it just started out as a hobby, and like we just had fun with it. And like we told our friends like, hey, like we're doing this, and they were like, no, you're not. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, it's always the starting reaction, right? No, nobody ever thinks you can do it. Like all your boys, like, yeah, all right, whatever. What are you gonna end up on ESPN? And then you realize that like slowly but surely, right? You build your account. I mean, 27.8K ain't no joke, guys. So hats off to you. Kudos to you guys. I saw that you guys joined in January 2020, so that's a little over 2 years ago. So how did it? I mean, your profile says 3 college friends turned pro cappers. So that's really what it is. You guys are two friends, an RA turned 3 friends, and now you guys are pro cappers. I'm assuming you guys are now out of college, so still boys, still running the account together. That's awesome, man. I'm not sure how many of your followers knew that you guys were 3 and not just one person, right?
Yeah, it's kind of not many people know unless you read that bio in our Twitter bio. So if you go and read that, it says 3. But yeah, most people probably think it's always, you look at all the accounts and you think it's one person, but it really is 3 of us, 3 brains behind it, all doing different things at different times. So it's a lot of fun. We get that opportunity, to go at it we've known each other for 5 years now, 2 years
Wow.
on the business. So it's really a cool opportunity to get to do something with some of your best friends. So
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'll keep you right there. And I'll ask you my next question, which is you guys seem like you guys do all the sports. You guys are not like, particular here and there, but what's your best, favorite, most profitable sport? It could be two answers, it could be one answer, but I'll let you take the floor.
yeah, I'd say for me personally, I think we can all answer this probably differently. At least Kevin and I think we have some different interests in different sports, but for me, it's college football and basketball.
Mm,
And for me, that's just because I grew up, I'm a huge Pitt Panthers fan. I go to all their sporting events, so I'm always down in the ACC hoops, ACC football. And, I think that gives us an advantage too. You have minds. Kevin's a big Maryland fan, so he gets his mind in the Big Ten. I'm in the ACC. You get a lot of different perspective.
wow.
So that's
Tell
my
me, tell me you grew up in the early to mid 2000s. Now, tell me you grew up in the early to mid 2000s.
not.
That's the Pitt Panther time of the year and Maryland time of the year. Those haven't been the Pitt hasn't been the same since DeJuan Blair. Maryland might have not been the same since Juan Dixon.
You're right. It's sad, man. It really is seeing it now. It's tough looking back and seeing what it is, what it was, and now what it is.
I'll never forget that Pitt Panther team with DeJuan Blair. Who's their point guard? Fields,
Sam Young,
Sam Young, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys were the team that lost on the Scotty Reynolds buzzer beater.
Scotty Reynolds with 2 seconds left, right down the middle of the lane.
Yeah, talk about a memory for me. Shit. Wow. Yeah, I remember that game.
As a
That
Pitt fan, that you watch that in your head every day.
Yes. All right, man. So college sports, I like that. College sports is definitely so much variance in that sport. College football, college basketball. So how'd you guys do in that? How was your profits last year in that one, since both of those seasons are over?
Right. College football was definitely a challenge last year. I think there were a lot of variables thrown. I think Kevin can attest to that too. The year prior to last it felt simple, and then you get to last, and there were just a lot of teams that came out of nowhere. Teams like Pitt, for one, that go out and win 11 games in a year. That never happens. But we did end up profiting in both college football and basketball. But
love that.
Just in terms of profitability, those are my two favorite. But I'd say NHL and MLB have historically, I think, been our bigger.
I like
bigger
that.
profitability sports, and funny enough, Kevin and Smitty are more expertise in those areas than I am. So maybe it's a me problem. You tell me, Kevin, but I don't know.
Well, right. The funny thing is I think NBA props have been our most profitable this year or two. And it's weird because like we had always tried to get into NBA betting sides and totals, but it's just so hard with how the leads go and how much effort the teams put in, and like we would get burnt on those bets a ton. So then we just decided one night, like, hey, let's just focus on props, and we've stuck with that. And I don't have the numbers since we only tracked our paid plays for the first 3 or 4 months so far this year, but we've been crushing it somehow. So definitely love those.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. NBA is one of the weirdest sports, man. It's one of those random ones where when your star player is out, for some reason, your team does better, especially in the regular season. I mean, it's a tough one when you're talking about sides and totals, but there's always something to be found in player props, and that's across sports, man. But let's move on, guys. I want to ask you, what's your system? How do you get to that play, right? What goes into that?
Yeah, so I would say that's why it's such a benefit that there's 3 of us on this account, right? Like Zach's kind of saying he will focus on college football or college basketball. I don't know about you guys, but on a Friday night or Saturday morning when I look at that slate, I get so overwhelmed. Like, because it really helps me that it's just like, all right, I'm not looking at college football today. Like, I have the whole day to look at NFL tomorrow, or something like that. So we all just split it up and we go based on just the 3 of us. There's out of every night of the year, there's probably at least 2 of us watching the games and following. So we go off that and research and trends and stats, and just the bigger plays are plays that all 3 of us confidently like, just because we take those plays very seriously for our clients and for ourselves.
So what happens if you don't agree? What happens if you love a play but the other two don't, or two of you like a play and one doesn't? Like, does it have to be like a cohesive, hey, yes, 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 or do you guys like kind of give each other the power to be like, hey, man, if you like that, post it, but like, I got no opinion type of vibe. Like, how do you deal with when not everybody's
Yeah.
on the same page?
Yeah, so I would say we kind of do it like I know a lot of times it's kind of like you got to swallow your pride, or if someone's hot, you give
Couldn't
them
be
that.
me.
Or I know for me, like if I like a college football play and the two of them are on another side, I'm just like, well, I'm just out of luck. And normally they're right and I'm wrong. So it's like we just trust each other at
Got
the
it.
end of the day. And we've been doing it for 3 years the same way. So it's like we haven't found a need to fix it. I think we went over 100 units total in 2021. So
Wow.
um, we're just trying to keep up the pace this year too.
That's incredible. So you're telling me, come on, stop BSing me. You tell me there's never been one where you're like, this is the play, and the other guys are like, absolutely not. We're on the totally opposite side.
I'm
It
sure it's
happens.
happened.
It happens. Cat, don't lie. We get into it sometimes.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah,
I'll,
you have to,
I'll text.
and then we'll throw shade at each other if I
Yeah.
I'll text
Yeah.
Kevin separately outside our group message and say, "Listen, man, we gotta have a talk about this one."
I love
Oh
that.
my
But
I love that.
but no, we always come back around, and it makes sense at the end what play ends up happening.
So
So
do you guys ever get into it like between you three, like as the degenerates, like who's the best capper? Like, hey guys, like come on, like I'm hot, like let me kind of lead this play. Like, is that kind of how it works? Like who's ever hot kind of like leads, like you know what I mean?
Kev can talk about this one with NBA props recently.
Well, I don't know if I'm on a hot streak. I like to let the boys know, like, hey, like
Oh,
I'm
believe me.
killing it, because it's like, especially with NBA props, like I will sit down
Right.
on a card and I will spend 3 to 5 hours going through everything
Wow.
on the board, and it's like people don't understand how much time we put into this.
Nobody ever will, by the way.
And it's on top of a 9 to 5, or
Yes.
we're coaching, or we go to the
Mhm.
gym every day. Like we do this because we love it, and so it's like when you put in the time and it pays off like that, like we like to brag about it on our page for sure. We let
Yeah.
the other accounts know, and we love it when they do the same.
Yeah. No, you have to, man. You have to, and I think it's something to be said. Kudos to you guys once again for coming on here, showing your face, because I think what that does is it brings legitimacy and just a sense of realness to your account, right? And just you guys being on here and kind of giving like a little explanation of how you get to where you get to, what the process is like, and how you already got to where you are. Even though it might seem so simple to you, you have no idea who you're inspiring or who you're reaffirming right now who's out there, who's just starting an account and kind of in the same place that you guys are, right? So, don't think that what you're saying and what you're doing right now doesn't have an effect on others, because even if you never hear it again, that person might not just be able to communicate that to you. So you guys got to be proud of what you already accomplished. You guys got good heads on your shoulders, and you guys going to accomplish much, much more. So proud of you guys. And then just wanted to say, so far, so great, man. You guys are doing it at all. And you guys are having fun with it. And I think that's the most important part, right? Like,
Absolutely.
if you're going to do this, the number one thing that drives me crazy is you got to understand you're not going to win every day. There's nobody that wins every day. And if they tell you they win
Long
every
term.
day, they're flat out liars. There's nobody that wins every single day. But long-term winning, long-term profits is what it's about. And that's obtainable if you do it the right way, the smart way, and don't rush into things. Like what you just said about you spending a couple hours every day, like on a certain, like looking at that perfect prop play. Hell yeah, if that hits, you should pat yourself on the back. But if it doesn't, you shouldn't get discouraged and not do that same process the next day. And that's my point. You keep at it. Consistency is key, and it's going to pay off.
Yeah, and going on the lines of that, actually, last year we had an incredible first 10 months of the year. I think we were actually up over like 150 units, and then we just regressed the last 2 months, and it's like everyone's pissed off at us, and it's like if you're with us the whole year, like we always try to get people on board, because we want to prove you for the whole year. Because if you were with us the entire year, we still had a hell of a year.
Hell yeah,
but we always give back when we suck on those months. We'll extend people. You have to.
Love that.
We love getting everyone back up to even.
You hear that, everybody listening? Don't have short-term memory. Long-term
Absolutely.
profits is what's it about, baby. Come on. I hate that type of lifestyle. But let's move on, guys. Before we move on to talking about the plays that we have going on tonight, even later on today, let's just quickly get and talk about the reason why we're here. DubClub. We're all a part of DubClub. I'm a part of DubClub. You guys, the Degenerates, are a part of DubClub. How has your experience with DubClub been so far? I know you guys just started, so just it's a game changer for me. It changed the amount of time I spent on this stuff, the amount of worry I have on this stuff, and just like the interaction that I have with my clients has never been so A to B. I put my plays in, it gets texted right to their phone. I'm still accessible via DM like I always am, but it's just so much easier on me to not have to sit there and type in my Telegram group 1,000 times over again. So tell me how it's kind of changed how you guys do. Because I mean, DubClub is such a fantastic product that we're trying to let the masses know about.
Yeah, exactly. And you said it best. It's really a blessing kind of getting that opportunity to work with them. And I think what excites us the most is, whenever you talk to the heads of the company and what they're trying to do, the endless possibilities, what they're trying to build in, and the different experiences they're trying to provide for not users, cappers, users, but everyone that can get on the app. And that really excites the masses. I think, we got to get that message out that, hey, DubClub, it's this awesome app. It's saving us so much time, like you were talking about. It's letting us streamline all of our processes in one spot rather than, having our private VIP page. If we mess up something, like it's, there's just with those private VIP pages, right, and going on Discord daily and doing all these different things.
Oh yeah.
It takes so much time up, but we get this opportunity with DubClub, type in plays. It's on our subscribers' phones in seconds.
Yep.
And it's truly, it's an awesome concept. We're really excited to see where it goes. And just the conversations I'm sure you've had with them and we've had with them, just the endless possibilities, as I said before. And we really think, our followers, your followers, the whole gambling Twitter, atmosphere is going to benefit from DubClub and what they're trying to do at the end of the day.
Yeah. Please.
Another thing I like, I don't know if you guys touched on it, but it's literally like an Amazon for gambling was my first thing. Like you can go on and you can filter out what preferences you like. And it's like, if you like parlays, this is your capper. If you do props, like this capper's good at it. Like if I was presented this 3 years ago, like I would be subscribed to multiple guys left and right. Just because like we say, when you look at long-term, like Novelli was saying, it's going to be really good for gambling Twitter.
Yeah. Any account that ever messages me and asks me, why I chose DubClub, I have such a fast and easy answer. Wouldn't you want the product you're selling to get into your consumers' hands as quickly and easily as possible? Well, right. That's what DubClub is. It takes everything out of my hands, and all I got to do is literally press a button. And for me, that means I get to put more time and more effort into the stuff that actually matters, making sure that those plays are actually winners, not worried about how to get you those plays, which is something that, we ain't in the logistics business, baby. They're in it. And that's why DubClub is the absolute best service for any professional capper that wants to get or has a VIP and is at a place where it's like, it's taking too long for me to get my place to my customers. Well, then check out DubClub, guys. Not only are they the best in what they do, they're the only reason we're here and get to have episodes like this with these wonderful guys tonight. So without that being said, let's get into something real fun, guys. Let's get into plays of the day today. We got 3 of them today. We are going to start, man in the back, where are we going to start? We are going to start in the NBA. We're going to talk about the Grizzlies game. The Grizzlies tonight have the Timberwolves. Game 2. Before we get into your plays, guys, what a freaking game 1 in that one, right? I'm going to say it right now, and we talk about it on our basketball show all the time. I thought Anthony Edwards was a bust. I said it like the second he got drafted. I 1,000% thought he was that typical guy who goes to an oddball school, super athletic, never develops a jump shot, never gains confidence. Once he loses his athleticism, he's not even a starter in the NBA. And boy, was I wrong very quickly. So I always say kudos to Anthony Edwards. I was also wrong about Evan Mobley last year. He played amazing. I thought he was going to be an outdated type of player. So let's see who I write off in this year's draft that becomes a superstar next.
Right.
But so guys, we got game 2. Timberwolves took game 1. I'll start off and then we'll go around. Guys, there is no way the Memphis Grizzlies, who are the number 1 against spread team in the NBA in the entire freaking year, who went 20-4 without Ja Morant, and Ja Morant's a top 10 player, are going to go back to Minnesota down 0-2. I am taking the Grizzlies first half -4. I think they get out of this game tonight and they jump them. They have to. Energy in the building's got to be crazy. Ja Morant's got to be half pissed off, half ready to go. And I'm looking for the other guys to step up in ways that they didn't in the first game, right? Desmond Bane, Triple J, Dylan Brooks, Trey Jones. I mean, these are the guys that kept the torch alive for this team when Ja wasn't there. So I'm looking for them to step up. I'm looking for the Grizzlies to get out ahead early in this game. I'm taking Grizzlies first half on the spread. How about you guys? What do we like in this game?
I don't know if I thought Zach, you want to get this one or you got me? I don't know if he's out of this, but I'll snag it for this one. So we like Ja Morant over 29.5 points on this one. Kind of for everything you were saying on those same reasons. Like, he needs to come out fast. They're down 0-1 in the series. We think he's going to get a lot of opportunities because of that. Minnesota ranks 25th in defense against point guards. They allow almost 22 points a game. Morant's averaging almost 27.5 right now. He scored 32 in game 1, I think.
He had a great game in game 1. He is the reason they lost.
Yeah. And then the Timberwolves as a team almost give up 114 points. And you toss that in with the Grizzlies' pace to play, and there should be a ton of scoring opportunities, and he should see a lot of minutes and a lot of usage tonight. So we definitely like that. And I know me and Novelli have been talking, like, this is another thing that we like to put into our bets here. He's been talking on social media big time. All year. He's been tweeting since the loss, and it's just one of those, like,
I
he's
haven't
gonna
seen
go
that
off.
really.
Look at his Twitter account, Novelli. You know it.
Yeah, he was posting pictures of Michael Jordan in the locker room from the Last Dance after the first game on Instagram, being like, it's just 1-0, like, shut your mouths. Like, Kevin and I always talk about this stuff. We think when, like, big things happen like that, like, it's gonna influence guys to play. Like, he was on the floor, Moneybag was gifted him a chain.
I saw
after the game 1. Like, he's telling him to put on for Young Dolph in the city of Memphis. Like, it's stuff like that. I think, he's going to go out there and score 35 plus. And like you said in your Memphis pick, I think it's going to fuel them. And it's just some of those things, hype him up for the game, and he's going to get it done.
I want to say this. right now. If I'm Moneybag, I'm putting the damn pendant back in my freaking pocket and waiting for game 2 because I am not icing Ja out after an L. I'm sorry. Absolutely. I thought that was ridiculous.
I agree.
What's Ja Morant gonna do? Like, Moneybag, hands you a diamond pendant. You already gave him your jersey, so like, you know what I mean. The trade has officially happened, but like, it was just such a weird situation.
It was.
You got to be pissed off that you just lost game 1. Right? Like,
right.
It's a damn playoffs. I thought that was hilarious that he still gave him the pendant. I was like, all right, I guess the game doesn't matter. But anyway, guys, I like that pick. I think the only way the Grizzlies do what they got to do is if Ja kills it, keeps crushing it. So what was that number? 29.5? The over on his points?
Yeah. I think it's gonna move closer to game time as well.
Yeah, by tonight. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, guys, let's move on. The beauty of this, everybody who's watching, is these guys pick 3 plays and they pick 3 different sports for you. So we're moving right on to hockey. Maple Leafs, Flyers. This money line is absurd, but NHL favorites have been on a streak that is unheard of. Heading into last night, they've won 21 in a row without a single loss. So we'll see. And so in this game, what do we like, gentlemen? Are we targeting a total? Are we targeting a side?
Yeah, so for this one, me and our third guy who aren't here today, we have really been hammering quantity-wise Philadelphia overs this whole year, honestly, and really since the second half of the year. So if you've been riding with us all year, you've kind of been seeing that we've been talking about this team a lot, just because they're not good, and they just play so loose. And they're even when they start to play better, their offense can put in a couple goals and help us out. Their overs are 41 and 35 on the year. Toronto's are 43 and 28. Philly's a terrible road team. The Maple Leafs are really good at home. That's why the line's like this. But when we see spreads like that, we have a saying. We'll text each other and we're like, these teams are playing pond hockey tonight, which just means we're expecting a lot of goals and we like the spots. And if you look at the trends, there's a lot of trends that point towards the over that both teams have had in recent games. And I think historically the over's 9-3-1 in their last 13 in Toronto. So those are just some things that we like to look at when we cap NHL.
Wow. So numbers don't lie, guys. I do not have a play on this game. I'm not on NHL. I love capping NHL because to me it is like the number. It's such a sharp sport. It really is such a sharp sport based on the numbers, based on the money lines, based on the total. You can get so much if you really dig into the analytics of the game. And we're so close to hockey. I'm sorry, so close to Stanley Cup playoffs here. We're about, a week and a half, 2 weeks away. Do you think there's anything to do with it, like a team like the Maple Leafs have very, very little to play for right now? You don't think they're going to take the gas off the brakes here? I mean, friggin' Austin Matthews closing in on 60 goals. Damn.
So yeah, he's been unreal this year, and that's why, because even when he's in a game like this, you have to think that he's going to try to pad his stats a little bit. And in hockey, it's very important that your team is playing well the last month or the last 3 weeks of the season going into the playoffs. And if you just don't want to drop a game to a team like Philadelphia in a situation at home like this, it's just so we're not worried about that spot.
I like that.
But with Philly, that's the side that we'd be more worried about throwing in the towel, opposed to Toronto, just because their season's over. I think Philly went on 2 separate 13-game losing streaks. That's how bad they've been this year.
They're on a bad one right now. That's for damn sure. They're on a bad one right now. But let's get into the baseball, guys. You guys chose a baseball play as well for today. This game was actually supposed to be yesterday. Got rained out, and we get to have a fantastic pitching matchup. Keuchel, Bieber, Guardians, White Sox. Both of these teams, in my opinion, the Guardians are overachieving. I mean, my man Steven Kwan out here looking like an MVP candidate. White Sox are the favorite to win their division. They're 6-3 right now. They're playing just up to standards. But Keuchel is not what Keuchel was. Bieber is having a solid year so far. So where do you guys stand on this one?
Yeah, so we're actually going to play a first 5 under on this. It's either going to be 4 or 3.5. I don't know what it was at right before the show. I think it might be 3.5, but this is kind of a system play for us too. When we talked about system plays a little before, something we've all agree on. And this is one we all agree on when Shane Bieber's on the mound for the Guardians. He's been, he's got us so many winning tickets on first 5 unders over the past 2 years. I have some notes here, going back to 2020 when we first started the account. I think our other guy, Smitty, was actually the one that kind of picked up on the trend, and Shane Bieber real early, years ago.
2020, this is like Cy Young Bieber.
Bieber it started off 8-2, and then he jumped on the trend and told us, and we wrote it out, and it finished the year 10-0 in 2020.
Wow.
And you can, if you can search it on Twitter, you'll see we're like one of the only accounts talking about him.
Wow, that's great, guys. Now Bieber is one of the most known commodities in sports, right? You see Bieber starting, and the first thing everybody always thinks about is NRFI, right? It's like the first freaking thing. So, is there anything to be said about that? Like, now he's the known thing. Like, do you look at any spots where maybe you fade him?
Personally for us, Kev, I don't know about you. I still haven't thought about fading him because even this year he's had 2 good spots. They're only throwing him, 65 to 75 pitches in these starts to start the year too. Yeah. So you're really only getting him for those 5 innings, if he has a good start, which we're expecting him to do, you're really only getting him for those 5. So until we see regression, there was that stuff out saying, maybe his curve didn't have the velocity with the whatever the substance was last year after all that happened. But, his slider's been killing it this year. He's throwing good pitches still. We're going to ride that. I don't think we're going to fade it until we see him start to regress in terms of that first 5 statistics. So,
I mean, my man's only 26 years old. So,
right.
There's no fading him yet. Speaking of that, you just brought something up that's in my head, and I was talking about it on our baseball show yesterday. What do you guys think about this whole crap about pitchers getting yanked after 80 pitches right now? I mean, take it back to last week where Kershaw had a perfect game through 7, 80 pitches thrown. They're up 6-1 on the Twins, and Dave Roberts takes him out. I almost wrote a letter to the MLB how freaking pissed I was. I'm still not over it, actually. I still can't understand it. 6 outs, 80 pitches. You're up 6-1. The Twins weren't even going to work the counts at that point. Let the pitchers pitch. The Padres did it 2 games in a row to start the year. They had 2 no-hitters to start the year through 7 innings, and they pulled both of the pitchers. Is this something that we have to live with now? Or is this like a thing because we didn't have a real spring training that we have to like ease our pitchers in? Guys, help me understand.
So I don't really – it's tough to say because it's the first year that I can remember this is really a thing.
Thank you. It's driving me crazy. People acting like this has been like this. I'm like, no. Last year in this situation, we're not even thinking about taking Kershaw out.
Yeah, exactly. And personally for me, since I've been getting into gambling, the first month I always really struggle with MLB. And so I'm interested to see how this is going to be just with pitchers only going 5 innings just because – who knows if these trends and early on numbers are going to mean anything in a couple months from now when pitchers are going to start getting stretched out a little more.
Yep. Sorry, guys. I just had to say that. It was like one of those itches like that I just had to say. Once you said 80 pitches, it like triggered me. Don't say 80 pitches around me. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being on here. Thank you so much for going through your bets. Before we do that, I got to ask you, you gave 3 bets out. You got to pick one as your best bet. So let's hear it. What do we got for our best bet? Only one.
I like Ja.
I was about to say I'm going Ja too. He's got the dog in him for this game. I'm going 35 plus.
Oh my God. You want to climb the ladder?
Oh. I like it. Give me the alt
play.
over. I might have to play something on the alt over too, man. I don't know.
Same game parlay with a win, maybe.
I like it, guys. All right, man. Well, listen, thank you so much for being on the inaugural show of Cappers Only. Guys, it's been a great time getting to know you. I'm sure all your followers out there are going to just watch this and be like, finally, we get past the avatar. We get to see the people who are giving us all these winners. Thank you to DubClub for making this possible. We will be here every week, once a week, doing this exact thing, bringing your favorite cappers, unveiling them and speaking to them, getting to know them, and getting you the information of how they get to where they got to, how they make their picks, why they make their picks, and just getting to know them outside of the Twitter avatar. I think it's so important, and kudos to you guys, and thank you so much for coming on to the show. Seriously, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you for having us.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Once again, guys, thank you for everybody for watching. Shout out to DubClub for powering the show. And right there, something really cool. That's your QR code. Anybody who's watching that, open up your phone, get your camera out, and put it up to there, and they're going to take you right to your DubClub page. They can sign up for your VIP service right here, right now. That's such a cool little thing that our man in the back has set up for us. So shout out to him. Shout out to DubClub. And we will see you guys next week when we bring you another one of your favorite cappers to the limelight. Thank you, everybody, and have a great